What's up, my comic comrades? Today we're wrapping up our celebration of the Batman with a look at the Caped Crusaders' base of operations, the Batcave. It's probably the most famous superhero headquarters in all of fiction, followed by the Hall of Justice. Anyway, sit back, relax, and let's take a look at Batman's glorious lair, the Batcave. The Batcave first appeared in the 1943 The Batman film serial. It was produced by Columbia Pictures and serves as one of the first adaptations outside of comics. It's also the live-action debut for Batman, Robin, Alfred, and Linda Page. But besides that, it introduces two mainstays to the Batman mythos. One, the depiction of Alfred as a slim butler sporting a thin mustache instead of the heftier, clean-shaved version we saw previously in issues like Batman issue 16. The other mainstay it introduced to Batman's mythos is what we're talking about today, the Batcave, referred to as the Bat's Cave in the film serial.
Come along, fella, you're going with us to the Bat's Cave.
We see Batman and Robin use the Batcave hidden beneath Wayne Manor, which is accessible via a hidden entrance. So quite literally, the Batcave as we know it today minus probably its size and overall appearance. But clearly that sort of stuff changes throughout the years, like Batman's Batsuit changing in appearance, getting upgrades, having countless amounts of different Batmobiles, and so on and so forth. Anyway, the first time we see Batman in the serial, he's sitting at a desk in the Bat's Cave, which the narrator says,
"Deep in the cavernous basements of this house, in a chamber hewn from the living rock of the mountain, is the strange, dimly lighted, mysteriously secret Bat's Cave, hidden headquarters of America's #1 crime fighter, Batman."
So it's actually kind of crazy that the Batcave was introduced to us in this show and not the actual comic books. But it was such a good idea they brought it into the comic books, and the rest was history. This isn't the first time another form of media introduced a huge aspect of a mainstay to a comic book character's history. Same thing happened with Superman being able to fly. That was originally introduced to us in Superman's radio show and then brought into the comic books along with several other aspects of his lore. Nonetheless, as for when the Batcave made its first appearance in comics, that would be Detective Comics issue 83 in 1944. In issue 83, Batman and Robin hear an alarm from the Batcave, saying someone must be down there. So Bruce says, "Let's go." The comic then tells us a secret stairway leads to the Batcave, subterranean shelter for the Batmobile, the Batplane, crime lab, and other crime-fighting tools for the Batman. So essentially the first time we see the Batcave in comic books, it's being broken into. While the Batcave is almost never depicted the same way twice in comics, TV, movies, and even video games, generally speaking, it always has at least several levels of caverns and chambers. However, the first time it was really broken down for us was in Batman issue 48. With the cover saying, "In this issue, exposing the 1,000 secrets of the Batcave." In said issue, an escaped convict breaks into the Batcave. Now I know what you're thinking, the Batcave was broken into a lot in its early days. But why do we fall, Bruce?
So we can learn to pick ourselves up.
Meaning Batman learned over the years to get a better security system, even though people have still broken in after that, but that's besides the point. Anyway, I digress. The real point is this issue gives us the first real look at how the Batcave is laid out. We see that directly under Wayne Manor there are spiral stairs that lead down into the Batcave. In the first two rooms, Batman has access to the secret laboratory and the trophy room where he has displayed a giant penny and an animatronic T-Rex. But more on that later. After the trophy room, we have the garage that houses his Batmobile and Batplane. Then next to that, there's a winch chain to pull the Batplane up into an incline so he could take off through the old disguised barn. And beyond the winch, there's a natural grotto. Very basic compared to the future layouts we would get of the Batcave, like this one we got from 1995 drawn by Dick Sprang, titled Secrets of the Batcave, which is absolutely gorgeous and classic, and one day I hope to own a print of it and hang it in my office. But nonetheless, the layout from Batman 48 is still huge and effective. Now again, Batman 48 from 1948 was our first real look at the layout of the Batcave. But just 2 years later, in Batman issue 158 from 1950, we got another cool look at the Batcave and the start of one of the trinity of trophies, as I like to call them, appearing in the Batcave. In Batman 48, we see in the trophy room there's a large animatronic T-Rex and a giant penny. Two of the most iconic things in the Batcave. The third one being the huge Joker card. Hence, the Trinity of Trophies, as I've dubbed them. But the animatronic dinosaur and giant penny are definitely top two, with the giant Joker card coming in third, as it was added later on. But that is neither here nor there. In issue 48, we see the animatronic dinosaur is a T-Rex. Then in Batman issue 148 from 1950, we see it's a Brontosaurus. The cool thing about this is that these animatronic dinosaurs actually came from a real case that happened to Batman in the comic books. Batman actually fought these animatronic dinosaurs in Batman issue 35 from 1946. And after him and the Boy Wonder defeated them, he clearly kept a few of them to display them as trophies in his cave. With that said, clearly he favors displaying the T-Rex, as that's the one that's always been depicted for the last several decades. Similarly to that, the gigantic penny came from another one of Batman's battles when he was fighting a pretty much forgotten villain called the Penny Plunderer in World's Finest Comics issue 30 from 1947. Essentially, he was a villain who used pennies during his crimes. It's kind of cheesy and weird, hence me saying pretty much forgotten villain. Once he defeated him, he decided to display the gigantic penny in his Batcave because, I mean, if I had the room, I'd want to display a gigantic penny. And rounding out the Trinity is the giant Joker playing card. The card originally belonged to the Joker, and he displayed it in his lair, first appearing in Detective Comics 114 on the second page of the issue in the second to last panel. And after one of the many times Batman defeated the Joker, he decided to take this gigantic playing card and display it in the Batcave's trophy room. Now, once 1985 rolled around, we got another layout / look at the Batcave in the definitive directory of the DC Universe issue 2. We see in this rendition of the Batcave there are 3 levels, one above ground with the Batcopter and Batplane hidden inside of a mountain near Wayne Manor, and 2 lower levels beneath Wayne Manor. We see there's also 2 elevator shafts, one running from Wayne Manor into the top level and lower level of the Batcave, and one that runs from the mountain to the top and lower levels. We see all the things we've become accustomed to in the Batcave, like the crime lab, garage / repair shop, Batmobile launch ramp. Then in the lower level, we got the computerized room and workshop, as well as a trophy room right next to it that has the Trinity of trophies, the gigantic penny, the animatronic T-Rex, and the gigantic Joker playing card. And then last but not least, we have the Batboat in the underground stream. We would then see another rendition of the Batcave from Who's Who in the DC Universe issue 13 from 1991. Where again we see mainstays like the crime computer, the Batboat, the Batmobile, the penny, T-Rex, Joker card, all that good stuff. Being one of the most iconic parts of Batman's mythos, there is no shortage of renditions of the Batcave in comics, TV, or movies, as each time an artist, director, or anyone who has the reins at Batman at that time has their own idea of what they think the Batcave would look like or should look like. But the good thing is, they all follow the same principles, which is why we have mainstays and things that the Batcave automatically has to have. And we've got some awesome renditions of said cave over the years. As far as comics go, I'm really a fan of Andy Kubert's design from Son of Batman, as well as Greg Capullo's from Batman issue 1 of the New 52. You also have Jim Lee's take from Batman Hush, then Mikkel Janin's from Batman Rebirth issue 1, which kind of took cues from Greg Capullo's, and for good reason. Then obviously we've seen several versions of the Batcave on the big screen as well, starting with Keaton's Batcave, then Christian Bale's Batcave, Affleck's cave, and now Pattinson's taking the mantle with the newest Batcave in the Batman. But no matter which rendition of the Batcave you're a fan of, there's 2 main reasons the Batcave has become so popular throughout pop culture. The first and most obvious reason being because it's cool and every dude wishes he could have a dope massive cave with all the cars, planes, and awesome gadgets and computers. But the main reason is because it's the headquarters and command center of one of the greatest characters in fiction, the Batman. Anyway, that wraps up our look at the origin of the Batcave and its many incarnations. Which one is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. And that's gonna bring today's episode of Variant to a close, but if you like today's Batman themed episode, check out this one right here. To my left, your right. Other than that, if you like the show, comment, like, and subscribe because it helps us out. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.